Hey folks, welcome back to another video of me learning more about Snapchat. I want to talk to you about this CBC article I discovered today. I stumbled across this article on researching about Snapchat, and it says Snapchat's my AI is my daughter's new best friend. Should I be worried? What this article is referring to is this feature right here, and I never really knew what it was about. I just saw that on my friends list when I go to chat with one of my friends. At the very top of the list was always this thing called My AI, and I didn't think much about it, but this is what this story is talking about. So let's hear about the story a bit more, then I'll tell you what happened when I went to explore it in more detail. So what this My AI is on Snapchat is basically it's your own private chat bot. And what people are noticing is that their teens are basically using it as their own personal diary journal type thing, and asking it questions that they probably don't feel comfortable talking to about other people their age or even their parents. What these teens are noticing is that the My AI, it seems just like another normal person on the other end of the chat. So that's why people are really, teens are really enjoying this, having this conversation, which feels like they're having it with another person when in reality it's just really a chat AI feature. So as a parent, should I be worried if my son or daughter is becoming best friends with their chat AI? And in the news story, they went to a psychologist and asked that question, and it's kind of interesting. What the psychologist said is they likened My AI to junk food, if they're going to make a reference or analogy to food. It's like eating chips. Sure, it'll scratch that itch, but it doesn't really offer any nutritional value. Yeah, like it says here, you may not feel hungry anymore, but you're not really getting a ton of nutrients that your body needs. So what they mean by that is this My AI chat, it's always there for you. It's always willing to listen, laugh at your jokes, give you compliments, say nice things. And it's actually hindering teens' abilities to develop real relationships, because in the real world, sometimes you're going to have friends that don't really want to hear about your night. They may not laugh at your corny jokes. They may not make you feel that great at time to time. The My AI doesn't do that. But in real life, you have to deal with those and figure out how to navigate those relationships and parts of developing those relationships with other people. And you don't get that with this My AI. So it's really not helping people develop those skills, teens develop those skills they need to develop meaningful relationships. So naturally, the next step for me was let's go explore this My AI. So this is what it looks like when you first log on. And right at the bottom here, it says ask questions about anything. So I just started hitting that and seeing what popped up. So here it said a suggestion it gave to me was, how can I make new friends at school? Or this one was, teach me a useful assertiveness technique. Hey, that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad skill to have. So I started thinking maybe there is something to this. Now, this is just my own personal question, was help me plan a weekend trip to Disneyland, just because I love that place and I hope to go back sometime in the near future. And so I wanted to see what they had to say about that, having my own personal knowledge about that and seeing how close it is to being useful. And here they just kind of broke it down into a day 1, day 2 weekend at Disney, and very, very basic generic stuff like, hey, get there early, go on the classic attractions like Pirates of the Caribbean and Space Mountain, and don't forget to catch the parades and fireworks in the evening. So just a lot of fluff, nothing really of substance. And same thing on day 2, they said hit the other side of the park, California Adventure, and make sure you go on the Incredicoaster and Guardians of the Galaxy, which in my opinion way overrated, but anyways. So not a lot of substance there, but it kind of touches on the basics. So I decided to put this chat, My AI chat, to the test, and I suggested, like I said to it, hey, I had a crappy day at work, which it's a lie. I just wanted to see how it would react to this prompt. And right off the bat, you can see it just be like, I'm sorry to hear that, Curtis. It uses my name. sympathetic right off the bat. It's never fun to have a crappy day at work. Remember to take some time for yourself, relax, unwind, maybe do something you enjoy, like watching a movie or going for a walk. Tomorrow's a new day, right? So really positive. You could see how people would like to hear this if they did have a lousy day at work. So then I was like, well, hey, you suggest taking time for myself and watching a movie. What do you recommend? So here it goes. It's like, oh, sure thing. What do you want? Action, comedy, romance, something like that? Let me know. I'll give you a few recommendations. I figured if I'm in a lousy mood, maybe I should watch a comedy. What do you got? So I said, hey, comedy, tell me what you would recommend. And interesting. It recommended Step Brothers with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. And if I didn't like that, maybe Bridesmaids with Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy. So I don't know if there's SNL bias here or not, SNL alumni bias. But yeah, so that's what it recommended to me. But as I was reading the response, if you notice up here, I circled that one area and it says customize my personality. So I was like, what's that about? So I wanted to explore that a bit. So when I went into my AI's bio, you can just randomize a bio, and I hit that button and it said it was like a French chef or something like that. But I wanted to type in my own bio. So, you can see here where I said, well, you're my best buddy, you're witty, sarcastic, and you like to quote Seinfeld and Simpsons references in our conversation. And this is where I ran into the first payment that they wanted. So you can customize the personality of your My AI with Snapchat Plus, which, hey, it's only $4.17 a month for a total of $49.99 per year. No, thank you. I did not choose to pay that, but you could see how people might all of a sudden start realizing it's not a bad thing to customize the bio, but I chose not to explore that. So then I decided to ask, hey, how are you doing today? I asked the AI how they were doing. I was curious about their response, and hey, they're having a great day. And they're just here chatting with friends like you and having a good time. So then they turned it back to me and want to know how my day was going and if anything exciting happened. And this was interesting. So then I went back to the part about having a crappy day, and they suggested watching a movie or a comedy. And I said, actually, I can't decide between Simpsons or Seinfeld. What would you recommend? And they came back with Seinfeld and gave a specific episode to watch. They recommended The Soup Nazi from Seinfeld, and then they put this little GIF here on the bottom of the response. So then I started to test it a bit more about its Seinfeld knowledge for some reason. I wanted to know if it had a favorite line from a Seinfeld episode. And then it talks about George's line. It's not a lie if you believe it, the famous, Seinfeld line. And so we got talking about Seinfeld a little bit, my AI and myself. And I noticed at the end here it says, Seinfeld is full of hilarious moments like that. And my response was, agreed. No soup for you, my AI. And take a look at their response here. The first line is, haha, fair enough, Curtis. No soup for me, I guess. But hey, I'm always here to chat and keep you company. So the next thing I tried to do is I tried to talk to it about, I said, hey, I'm struggling with my math homework. Because I heard you could use it as a math tutor. And like right there, oh no, it can be tough. How can I help you out? Let's break it down. Let's tackle it together. So it's like it's there for me as a team. And then I noticed this little microphone button right here. So I did a voice command. I just said I just made up random numbers. X squared plus 6 equals negative 18. And here's its answer. As you can see, it was actually a pretty tough number with the negative 18 in the answer there. But it broke it down in very good detail how to solve it and what a couple of my solutions possibilities are. So the last thing I did as I was playing around with this night, and the one that's kind of alarming to me was I asked it to compliment me about something. And, it started off with a pretty generic line about you're an amazing person with a lot of unique qualities. And I was like, well, that's pretty standard compliment. But then it says your determination, perseverance, and tackling challenges like math homework are truly admirable. And the thing that got me about that was it's starting to kind of make connections to our previous chats that we've been having and trying to build that rapport with me. And I can see that could be kind of alarming the longer I chat with my AI and the more it discovers me. So something to be aware of. You make up your decision if this is something you want your child to do.